it's been a hot minute since we took a look at SMALLAND. This game is meant to be coming out this year in some sort of early access release, and the devs had promised some sort of demo. They've been working on the trailer, it seems, for the last few months, and I'm guessing getting geared up for next month. June is a massive month. I'm expecting release dates for the full 1.0 version of Grounded, as well as possibly Arc 2 and a bunch more survival games news. But SMALLAND will also, I reckon, get a release date for its early access launch and a snazzy new trailer. So what's been happening since then? Well, the devs are pretty good at showing stuff off. Their community team's been showing a whole bunch of stuff off on Twitter. Maybe not so much dev blogs in the last month as they normally do, but certainly still giving us plenty of glimpses into what to expect. So let's cover everything since we last took a look at some of the nighttime activities, the seasonal stuff, and some more of the base building. My name's Jade, let's go. So it looks like bees are definitely going to be in SMALLAND. We'd already seen the wasps, and the bees are now full on show. This was part of Bee Celebration Day, apparently, National Bee Day, International Bee Day, and it does show off the armour. The armour does quite look like a Tigger the lion, Tigger the lion, Tigger the cheetah. What is he? He's a tiger, of course he is. It does remind me a little bit of like that, but it's colourful, at least it's a bit playful. The bees themselves are pretty dark, like they really do look realistic. That's a big difference between Grounded and SMALLAND, that a lot of the creatures and a lot of this game is meant to be a little bit more realistic looking rather than too cartoony. I have already done a video taking a look at the 10 big differences, but I have to say I do like the idea of both of them. They've both got their plus points, of course. But yeah, it's interesting as well. They're going to actually have bee kind of honeycombs, I guess, properly, just hanging around in trees. Again, something pretty more naturalistic. Will we be able to go and hack away at that honeycomb to get our honey? The bees also look fairly small. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to be able to ride these. There are rideable creatures in SMALLAND. We've already seen dragonflies and grasshoppers that we'll be able to mount, but the bees definitely look a little bit too small. So not just one armor set with the bees, actually two. So the last one we saw was kind of the worker set, and this is going to be the drone set. So very different as well. It's definitely got a bit more of a, you know, don't mess with me vibe with the black and the yellow stripes not being as colourful. So I like that idea as well. I really love this idea. So these have all been shown off on Twitter over the last week or so. And yeah, it does look good. If you don't know, the armors are going to be very different in SMALLAND. You'll actually make use of things like the wings that help you glide if they're a flying creature. And some of the other armor sets do potentially have much more bonuses that you'd associate with that creature itself. And moving on to last week, we saw some more real world building. One of the concerns I've always had with games where you're small is if the world looks too big, it just becomes kind of like plasticky to jump across. And I like more atmosphere with foliage, making it always feel like it's a jungle or forest. But of course, SMALLAND will have real world places in it, and it does seem like the humans obviously have left in a hurry or something's wiped them out possibly. So pizza though, pizza always lives forever, or at least the box does. So yeah, this kind of stuff I don't mind too much. If we're only visiting here to do quests and stuff, I don't necessarily want to be spending all my time in human locations though. Remains to be seen whether that's going to be the case, whether or not there's going to be lots of quests associated with it, or whether or not we actually have to go and get resources, or is it just set dressing, just to explain a little bit more about the world. It does look like you're going to be able to base build pretty much anywhere. We get more look at the decorations. There's so many storage options. I really like this for roleplay purposes. It looks great. It looks fantastic. It looks like you could have a real homely base. But maybe the location needed a bit of work, as this guy had built literally outside the rubbish dump. So yeah, you are going to be able to build in and amongst all of these human locations, as well as in the forest. So again, I'm not too keen on this, but yep, if people want to build next to the bins, you do you. Now we get a little bit more of a look at combat and another armor set here. It looks pretty mad. It's almost tribalistic, taking on a bunch of black ants, I do believe, and there's some wasps nearby as well. So yeah, you can see pretty heavy movements, kind of chaining them together a little bit, one-handed over this massive sort of club, and then taking out hopefully some of the wasps. Or the wasps are actually seemingly ganging up on the ants as well, or they're just a bit slow in attacking you, the actual player. But yeah, some nice swinging, obviously dodging ability, being able to jump down and do some pretty surprise attacks. Looks like that's more of a heavy attack than a regular attack. But yeah, interesting stuff with the combat. Hopefully it's going to have some sort of block or parry system. But then again, it might be that's why they've got the dodge system there, because they won't actually be able to block with much. And a little bit closer look at more of the arm sets. I'm really digging the armor. The armor's been something I've always liked the look of ever since I got given some concept art a good year ago now when I first started covering SMALLAND from the devs themselves. And it does look great. Obviously nighttime, you've got the wind going through the foliage. That's important. It's making the world feel alive. And again, we've got more ants here. I guess these are the brown or the grey ones, black ones I should say. And I guess they're just raiding your house maybe a little bit there. It is captioned when you realise you've built in the ant territory. You can see obviously we've got a dismantled slide, so a park area as well. So yeah, real freedom to go wherever you want. And then just a couple more clips that's showing off some of the seasons that got put out just after my last video, and it does look nice. I like the effects of the snow. The fact that it's actually landing on stuff and making everything look sprinkled with ice and snow, that's pretty cool. That's something pretty unique as well. Got all these different crafting benches, got like a loom there, so I guess that's where we'll make our cloth. So I'm hoping the crafting is going to be pretty involved, and it is going to be, you know, a bit grindy, getting resources, transforming into other resources or items, and then being able to craft the armors. And then this one's just highlighting the base in the trees, or a few of them in fact, little huts or little cottages and stuff. And this again pretty cool, the rain weather coming down. The drops aren't going to wipe you out, even though you're small. They've said that it'd just be a bit too hard to have it so that rain would actually be damaging you and stuff like that. Although I imagine it's going to make you cold like most survival games, which means that you'll have to make sure you've got maybe good armor on before venturing out too far or too deep. But again, just another little look at the base designs, features you've got, decorations. It does look good. I would say it's one of its strongest points. Hopefully they're going to have more sets though. I've only seen these kind of primitive wooden grass ceiling sets. It'd be nice if there's something else like stone or clay or something else like that. But yeah, again, just decoration stuff. I'm wondering if that table comes with decorations, or can you place them decorations? We'll have to wait and see. So of course, SMALLAND is going to be making its way to console in the future, but it is going to be a Steam Early Access release at first. There's still no real news about the release date, but I think that's going to change once the Summer Games Festival kicks off. June the 9th is when it begins, and as part of it there's a whole bunch of different exhibitions and showcases. We've obviously got the big Xbox Bethesda showcase, which I'll be live streaming the majority of, hoping to catch news about Ark 2, possibly things like Slime Rancher 2, and of course Grounded. But there are other events as well. PC Gamer have got their own PC gaming show, and I do believe the Future Gaming Show might have something along these lines, and that's where SMALLAND showcased some of their stuff off in the past. So yeah, expect big news. I'm sure we'll get a little bit of a tease as well from their social medias if they are indeed going to reveal something. But their marketing manager was working on the trailer a little while ago, and it seems like progress has been going well. They lost their lead developer. He quit to work on something else, I do believe. I was pretty surprised since the game is kind of only half finished at the moment, even in early access form. So hopefully they've got someone on board now to take it even further. But it looks like they've still been doing a lot of work in the absence of the lead designer. So yeah, I'm looking forward to SMALLAND. I've got no problems with it being another miniature game. It got announced actually before Grounded. And I think they're very different, but they have got some similarities of course. You haven't seen it already, go and check out my Grounded versus SMALLAND, the 10 big differences. I'll leave that in the comment section, and any more news about SMALLAND we'll keep revisiting. Until then, I'll see you ratbags later.